We have some Mayo College people who will speak on Mr. Ganju is coming into...
Arvind as a student.
All right, first, can we have Arvind therefore to come and share his grievances?
Children. Good afternoon, everybody. Principal Mayo College. I see a lot of masters who taught me, who I had the benefit of being taught while I'm here. So greetings to all of you. My batchmate, old boys, present boys, other faculty members, of course, Mr. Ganju, Madam Ganju, all the members of Mr. Ganju's family, ladies and gentlemen. As Ramesh had initially pointed out, that it's very difficult to summarize what one needs to say, one has to say, one would wish to say about Mr. Ganju in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes, which is what has been allocated to me. I might exceed, for which I need forgiveness. I joined here in '57. Mr. Ganju had just joined a few years ago in '53. Am I right, sir? I can well imagine the feelings of a young gentleman master who had come to this very intimidating, very overwhelming institution, larger than life, with students who pretended to be larger than life themselves and who were here for all the reasons other than to study but to become gentlemen. The institution, like human beings, also pass on a legacy. They also have their own culture. And there have been many principals who have been here in Mayo College from the time Lord Mayo decided to educate the princely order of Rajasthan. What a formidable task it must have been for him to have even conceptualized. When Mr. Ganju must have joined, there were iconic masters in Mayo. And I'd be committing a deadly sin, as Mr. Gibson would say, from this very position, if I named a few and left out a few. But the fact remains that the doyens, the icons, like Mahabir Dayalji, Dhanmalji Matsab, Raghbir Dayalji, Gui Saab, Garg Saab, Datta Saab, Chatterjee Saab, and so on. I mean, you know, I can... This, Mr. Naidu, of course, GR, must have been very, very intimidating for this young master to have come and not just be equal to them, but excel. in their era, in their period, in their larger than life image, but in general, I'll just borrow a phrase I heard you mention this morning, which is definitive time frames. I think Mr. Ganju came here in a very definitive period in the legacy of Mayo College. The old order had to give way. The old order had to, at some point of time, pass on the baton to the younger generation. And here was somebody who arrived at the right time, at the right place, with the right credentials. So, sir, since then you've never really looked back. I also had the privilege of being your student. Funnily enough, I wasn't a very brilliant one. I was more interested in sport than anything else. But when I decided to take higher mathematics and and I surprised myself, so if he surprised himself, it's not really unusual. A lot has already been said, a lot has already been described about his prowess as a sportsman, as a teacher, as an administrator, later on as a principal, as a human being, as a mentor, and even now. And we also were very pleased when I requested him to come to Udaipur to head our institution for a while. He was most graceful and kind to accept, for which I think it is really, really remarkable that his enthusiasm for work, his enthusiasm for education, his enthusiasm for passing on his knowledge and experience has never ever dimmed at all. Even now, his hand will be extended, I know, if any of these issues are referred to him for consultancy, and therefore the youthful exuberance of assistant is something which is a matter which we can all learn. It's never too late, one is never too old to pass one's wisdom. I always say that knowledge can be honed in, wisdom is what we need to acquire, and I think it is in Mayo College that we were taught wisdom and not just knowledge. So we are delighted to have you here today. We are delighted to have Madam here today. We are delighted to have all the other members of the family here today. It's a very happy occasion. It's a very momentous occasion. I don't know what we as the batch and the school can do in reality to express our gratitude, to express our grateful thanks for the years of your life experiences that you have passed on, the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that you must have touched, the hundreds of thousands of boys who have been through Mayo while you were here as a teacher and then as a principal, and now even from time to time as a visiting dignitary, influenced. This is what has made you actually immortal. It's a rare quality in people. It is a quality which we all aspire. it's an identity which we all want to acquire as well. And here is a living legend amongst us today who has demonstrated that even though living one's life fully, he gets so much pleasure in giving, and he all his life has given, which is really, really remarkable. And he never stops and he never will, because I think I know him a bit. So I'm sure there are others who wish to say other things, but I thought I'll just restrict myself to this very generic description of my feelings for you, my respect for you, my great affection for you, and also the fact that I feel greatly privileged to have been your student, greatly privileged to have been the student of a lot of masters who are present here today, and in no uncertain terms feel greatly privileged to be one of the old boys of this alma mater. Thank you very much for asking me to share my thoughts on this occasion. I'm sure some of the present students, you'll come back in a few years' time when you have passed out, and you will also be reflecting like we are reflecting here today. And you will understand the meaning in depth as what some of us are understanding in depth today. A lot of it perhaps today is going to go over your head like a bouncer, and not the bouncers that the Indian team is bowling to England, but the ones that the England team is bowling to us, at which we are not doing awfully well. But so thank you. I wish Mr. Ganju, Madam Ganju, everybody in the family a great success, a very happy, a very healthy, and a very long life. And the principal, grateful thanks for asking me to be here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arvind.